If you've never shipped a card for grading, you're not sure how to package it, this is what you're going to want to do. I will say there are a few different ways you can go about this. Everyone has their own way of doing things. I will point out the things that PSA recommends. Always good to get a few different takes, so check other videos. There are a number of great resources out there for you to learn from. First off, PSA recommends you use Card Saver 1s. These are semi-rigid holders. These are not top loaders. There's a big difference. So again, no on these. So to get started, I also had a comment on how to inspect the cards. This video is more about packaging, but since I have the card in hand, we can take a look. When it comes to grading, there are four main factors: the corners, the edges, the centering, and the surface of the card. With the corners and centering, you can immediately tell if a card is off center or the corners are damaged for the most part. The surface, though, tends to be the overlooked culprit, as it's really tough to see any surface imperfections if you don't hold the card at different angles and in different light. So here we have this beautiful Elly De La Cruz Bowman First Edition foil. It's number 1 out of 75. I was really excited about this one when I got it in hand and started shifting it around in the lighting, and it's even tougher to pick up on the video, but you can see just above my thumb, but you can see there's a small little indent, looks like a fingernail imprint maybe on the right hand side there. So because of that, I probably won't be submitting this one. I'll probably be selling raw, but that's the process you want to go through. And again, you want to be objective about this. Don't think your cards are perfect. Try and find an issue. This goes for paper cards, just as you're seeing here with the foil and chrome. Here's another example with a truer border. It's a lot easier to see the centering on this one, maybe a little to the right. Last, for an example of centering that's really easy to pick up on, you can see how far left this photo is shifted compared to the border around it, which means, of course, you're going to have more border on the right compared to the left there. Okay, so back to packaging, you're going to want to start with a penny sleeve. And even if your card is already in a penny sleeve, I always recommend putting a fresh one on. You're going to also want to be mindful of fingerprints on the card, which I meant to mention earlier. When you're inspecting the card for any surface imperfections, go ahead and wipe away any fingerprints with a microfiber cloth. Now with the card in the penny sleeve, you're going to go ahead and put it inside of the card saver. You're going to want to be gentle. Don't just sloppily place it in there. Aim for perfection in presentation. Make sure the card is pushed down enough to where it's below the lip. I won't do it now, but again, try and center it within the card saver for a nice presentation. And same thing, use a brand new card saver. Don't use one that's been used before. Your goal here is to give a great first impression, and that's hard to do when there's scratches and dust and such on the card holder. Next, it's time to sandwich the card between two pieces of cardboard. You can totally dismantle an old Amazon box for this. You do not have to buy pre-cut cardboard. I just happen to have some on hand. If you do want to buy some for convenience, there's a pack of 100 in the link below. You're going to put the card on top of one piece and then put the other piece of cardboard on top of that for a sandwich. Next, you want to secure the sandwich so the card does not slip out, but you're not going to use tape here. You're going to use rubber bands, as many as you need for the card to be secure. You obviously don't want to squeeze the cardboard and thus squeeze the card. I'll start with one rubber band horizontally and then another vertically. Some people will do more from there. Again, personal preference, just make sure that card is secure. Next, I don't have bubble wrap on hand, but you're going to want to bubble wrap this. Sometimes I just place it inside of a bubble mailer and that has been fine, but I do prefer to bubble wrap it when I have some. You're not done yet. Do not just ship it like this. If you do put it in a bubble mailer, obviously, if you have it wrapped in bubble wrap, you need to put it within a box, so that's a good reminder. The goal with the box is you don't want the card to shift around in transit. And of course, you want the card protected on all sides, so I'll go ahead and put some bubbles on the bottom or some paper, and then once the card's in, I'll go ahead and put more bubbles or paper on the top. Again, this isn't perfect size box, but it will do for the video. Again, you shouldn't hear the card moving when you have it packaged and in the box. In terms of packaging, that's really it. When you submit through PSA, you're going to get some forms that you need to print out, and you put a couple copies inside. You're also going to get a barcode that you cut out and tape to the outside of the box for easy scanning. But all of that is documented when you go ahead and submit your card with PSA. They'll give you all those instructions. I'd never ship a card worth grading without insurance. Again, that's up to you, but be smart about it. Things do happen. So again, quick summary: sandwich that card, rubber band the sandwich, use a card saver, not a top loader, and you should be good to go.